Ras ras gun gavane. That becomes their enjoyment. Ras means to enjoy something. What is enjoyable to them? Gun gavane. Think of him. Think of his praises. But the mind is very clever. It will create an argument. You say, God made a mistake. There is a parable, there is a little story. Somebody is walking through the field of melons, watermelons. And he finds that they are huge, lying on the ground, and their stem are completely flexible. They can't even hold it. And say, well, look, what a stupid design. Such a huge fruit and such a weak stem. He happened to travel. He fell asleep in the desert under a tree. Tree happened to be the coconut tree. Wind blew and the coconut fell, came straight on the nose of where he was sleeping, and he woke up yelling and screaming because it came down from a height. And then he suddenly realized, he said, oh God, thank you, it wasn't a watermelon. My head would be a melon by itself. You did the right thing. You put the melon on the ground and not onto this tree. But that's how the mind thinks. It finds faults even with the Creator. I had a heart full of laugh when I was watching John Denver movie, Oh God. In which the little girl asked the God, why did you make the neck of a zebra so long? And the answer comes back, because they need to eat fresh leaves right off the tree. And the question comes back, well, wouldn't it be easier to make the tree smaller rather than the zebra taller? And he said, you know what, you are smart than me, I didn't think of it. What do you say to such a child? To such an intellect? But the questions will always be there. Mind will always work like that. Some crows are sitting on a tree and they find out that their elder is dying. All the crows get together around the elder and say, grandfather, before leaving this world, please pass on the wisdom that you learned all through your life in a few words. And the crow says, I have learned that when somebody is walking by you and bends down, fly away. This is why. Well, if he is bending down, he must be picking a stone to throw at you. But you know, the mind works. There was a very, very intelligent crow in that crowd and said, Grandpa, what if somebody already has the stone in the pocket? And the crow says, son, you are now smarter than me. I never reached that experience. Go ahead, I can't teach you anything. A spiritualist gets away from the argumentative mind. Because the logic is the real devil. Just because you can think of an argument as an answer to somebody doesn't prove your intelligence. It only proves that you have the capacity to argue. That's all. But if you are on that path, then you don't do these things. What do? Har ras ras gun gaavane. You enjoy the praises of the creation and the Creator. You find everything good in it. You look at the positive in it. We all have this experience in our life. The most difficult relationship in our world is where somebody finds only faults. In everything there is a fault. Means what? Because in everything there is a good. Good exists with respect to the bad. They both coexist. A human cannot be only good. A human is also bad. That's why the two coexist. So if you want to focus only on the bad, you can. Nothing is to stop you. Positive and negative are always together. They are joined at the hip. That's why somebody made a joke. Husband and wife are joined at the hip like two sides of a coin. They will be together but never face each other. They just can't stand to look at each other, but they'll be joined at the hip. Why? Because of the outlook. Because of the way of looking at the things. Because trying to find the faults. Trying to look for the negative. Trying to find for the negative. And they both do. He finds in her, she finds in him. And there is no shortage of that. No shortage for either one of them. But those who are on that path, they don't do that. Har ras gun gaavane. They take enjoyment out of the positive in the Creator and in the creation. Gurmukh rid se sach sanjam soi, Gurmukh gyan ram, Gurmukh gyan naam mukta hoi, Gurmukh kar sach kamave, sache sach samavane. Gurmukh. Means, mukh literally means the mouth. Gurmukh. The word that comes out the mouth of the master, the Guru. The one who follows that is called Gurmukh. So what is the behavior of a Gurmukh? Gurmukh gyan naam mukta hoi. Gyan, the awareness. Not the knowledge, but the knowing. That individual listens to the word and then puts it to the practice and experiences it. That person is not a blind follower, because that individual has actually put it into the practice and tested it and seen the result within himself or herself. Only then the belief is confirmed. Say, yeah, the message was right.